if your best ideas come to you while you're in the shower, you have a serious problem. You see, as entrepreneurs, we tend to be grinding and are on survival mode and on go 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 mode all the time, all the like throughout the entire day almost, right? You're going from uh, like running a specific task to solving a problem to being on a call with a client or with a prospective client to people calling for your attention, and you end up the only time of the day that you end up coming up with your ideas is while you're in the shower. The reason why this happens is pretty much because your dopamine system is just too stimulated, too overloaded with inputs that your brain wasn't made to handle, and this is causing negative things to your decision making, to your mood, to your focus, to your productivity overall. You're less efficient, you get less stuff, and you work more. You could essentially distill the amount of hours that you work, but get 2 or 3 times more work done because you're more productive. Because if you fix, of course, your dopamine system. And what I mean by this is, you see, you have to understand that your brain has pretty much two modes. So it's on two modes, flickering around through two modes for the majority of the day. When you're waking up in the morning, it is on something called default mode network, where ideas flow through, you're creative, you can absorb information, you're not really focused on engaging with tasks. And when you wake up in the morning, what you typically do is check your phone and scroll and see messages and go to your email and check your bank account, and that activates your attention mode networks. Now, you go through default mode network to attention mode network regardless, because that needs to happen for you to wake up and to get into work mode, but that needs to happen slowly and naturally. And when you wake up and the first thing you do is check your phone to, like, as a dopamine junkie, scroll or check your messages or check your client file or check your ads or check your bank account, you're instantly exposing your brain to triggers that stress your nervous system and spike your dopamine right from the get-go. And the problem is that whatever you do in the first hour of the day to first hour and a half will determine something called your dopamine threshold. This means that it essentially sets the bar for how much stimulation you need, how much stimulation the monkey needs to be happy for the rest of the day. For example, if you wake up and you expose yourself to a huge pool of stimulation, like you wake up and you open Instagram and you scroll on Reels. This is the equivalent to the monkey waking up in the morning and being thrown 100 bananas and 2 watermelons and like cake. So the monkey is very happy. And the monkey, in order for the monkey to keep staying equally as happy for the rest of the day, it needs to be continually fed more bananas and sweet stuff. Whereas when the monkey wakes up and the only thing that he receives is just boredom and slow, like maybe a banana, maybe some crumbles here and there, well, the monkey's reward threshold, or how much stuff he needs to be thrown at, how many cookies and bananas and watermelons he needs to be happy, is going to be significantly less. So that, like, the way this translates to you, my entrepreneurial friend, is that when you wake up and the first thing you do in the morning is such a dopamine, high dopaminergic activity, such as listening to music or opening your phone and like checking DMs or scrolling on Instagram or checking your YouTube or checking your email or whatever that may be. Something that has to do with artificial instant gratification. This will raise the bar so high that anything you want to do in the morning, later in the day, pretty much, is going to be so painful and extremely difficult. And the only way for you to do that is by more artificial dopamine. For example, modafinil, nicotine, coffee, Adderall, okay? Energy drinks. So you have to like understand that the reason that you struggle to come up with solutions, to think objectively and just make progress, and the reason that you're stuck in constant fight or flight, survival, firefighter mode, is because you're simply not getting bored enough. And if the only time of the day that your brain is allowed to stay alone with its thoughts is in the shower, or this is something that I face hundreds of times after working with a lot of entrepreneurs to help them fix their productivity, their health, their focus. One common thing alongside the shower thing is while you try to go and fall asleep. So when you're again on your own, with no input, with no stimulation, with no distractions, trying to fall asleep. So there is a pattern. Shower, trying to fall asleep. What is the common thing? What is the pattern? The pattern is that you're alone with your thoughts. And imagine your brain being constantly distracted with things. So for example, now I'm filming this video. My focus is on articulating myself to the camera to tell what I want to say what I want to say. So I'm distracted right now. I'm not alone with my thoughts. Later, I'm going to go and sit on my computer and do more work. Then I'm going to eat a meal. Then I'm going to do this. Then I'm going to do that. So for example, in the same exact way as you wake up, check your phone, distracted. You go in the kitchen, make some coffee while checking your phone, while replying to clients. Then you probably go to the gym or sit down to do work. And sit down and think, when are you alone with your thoughts, with no input? When do you actually go for a walk with no input, no music, no podcast, nothing, just you and your thoughts? When do you actually sit down and just do something that is completely unrelated to external input? Just sit down with a piece of pen and paper and just your thoughts. When do you actually do that? If your answer is almost never, then that is directly going to affect the quality of your focus, your mood, your decision-making ability, and your clarity. So essentially, all this to say that you just need to get bored more often. And that's why your best ideas come while you're in the shower. Now, imagine if you had the ability to be in that creative mode, objective thinking, strategy, big picture thinking to move your life and your business forward for more than just in the shower. And this is a problem because you're trying to force ideas, you're trying to force focus, while actually ideas and creativity and breakthroughs come when you're not trying to force them. Because your brain, again, when we're talking about the attention mode network and the default mode network, default mode network is associated with relaxed. Your brain is actually identifying patterns and connecting the dots together. And attention mode network is go, 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 focused, distracted, doing that one thing. You're focused on the task to complete the task at hand. That's not bad, but it's attention mode network is a part of it's a mode of your brain that doesn't really have enough room or capacity to make creative decisions or come up with breakthroughs. And that's exactly why when you're in the shower, you activate that part of the brain, that default mode network, and then you come up with some crazy breakthrough that can 10x your business, just like that. So the implementation here, or the solution rather, is to just get more bored. And more importantly, to schedule time in the day to do no input activities. Sit down, for example, like I'm doing right now, but without the filming and the microphone in there, all those things, without the headphones. Sit down, no music, nothing, just with you, a piece of pen and paper, and just observe your thoughts. Write them down. Go on a walk, with no music, no input, nothing, just alone. Go on a walk with probably a piece of paper or your notes to take notes if something pops up. Again, you're not trying to go on a walk for the sake of coming up with the idea. You're trying to go for a walk for the sake of just seeing what happens, being bored. And more importantly, you have to leverage those first 60 to 90 minutes of the morning, whenever you first wake up, to set the threshold for dopamine appropriately. For example, what I mean by that, and what I personally do, is wake up, of course, hygiene and toilet and all that stuff, but more important than that is do things that require no external input. No phone, no music, what I do is I wake up, I go to the kitchen, I hydrate, I then do my morning prayer, and then I go to the gym. So all those things are quite non-stimulating. I go on a walk to the gym, towards the gym, and then I hit my workout, and then I've done so many difficult things in the morning, or I've done boring things in the morning, that when I come back and it's time to do work, it's not, compared to what I did in the morning, which sucks, isn't as bad. Whereas if I wake up and check my phone and then scroll a little bit and then reply to messages and listen to music, especially in the gym, listen to upbeat music, like, for example, house and like techno or something like that, was very stimulating, and also drink some pre-workout, no wonder I'm going to go back home and I'm going to feel like I'm dragging myself with zero motivation and getting distracted. And I need a couple of energy drinks and more coffee and stimulants to get through the day. So that's the solution. Get more bored. Schedule time in your day, in your calendar, for those specific actions, not for the sake of coming up with breakthroughs, but just for the sake of being bored, seeing what happens. That's the solution, or one of the solutions. There is much more to this than just getting bored. It's one of the reasons why you will notice that you're inside your days, you're coming up with the best ideas in the shower. But here's the thing. If you need help with optimizing all the aspects of your focus and productivity so that you can just structure your routine, so that you can so that you can gain a competitive edge, a competitive advantage amongst your competition, to think clearly, to perform better, have more energy, and just feel better while you work, so you can be a machine, then that's exactly what I help my clients with. I've helped over 300 entrepreneurs, founders, and executives improve all aspects of their focus, their health, and their performance through data-driven systems. If you need help with that, then I'm more than happy to show you exactly how we could create a specific protocol for yourself and how you could implement that into your life to benefit with your performance and your productivity. If that's interesting, then I will leave a link below. It will take you to a site that I explain how my process works and how I've helped other clients achieve similar things. If that's interesting, give it a click and walk through that page. If it's interesting, if you walk through that page, you will also find a button to book a call with me, okay, to further kind of personalize this protocol and show you how it will look like specifically for your situation, and perhaps see and discover some things that you're probably doing wrong right now and what we would fix for you. If that's interesting, then go to that page, read through how the process works, book a call, and I'll speak to you in the next one.